comedy clubs, they pack you in. Here, not nearly as bad as many other clubs that I've been in. And there was a lady my size, and she was upset. Like, I walk around before the show and people flag me down, I'll talk to them and stuff, and I looked at her, she was really upset. I said, what's going on? And her name is Linda, because that's her name. So, we don't play favorites this way, And I said, what's going on? She goes, I'm still hungry. I said, okay. So, you had the wings, right? She goes, I did. They just took them away. I said, yeah, I saw that. She goes, I thought I was going to get 8. I only got 7. I said, I know that feeling. The next thing I tell you, you're either going to hate my guts or we're going to be best pals. She goes, what's that? I said, you might not feel this, because I have the same problem, but if you lift up that muffin top, there's another one hanging out right there. It looked like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm like, ah. Just one leg, And she popped it out. She goes, it's still warm. I was doing this show, this Christmas show a few weeks ago, and it was a banquet, and they had this chair, like all the chairs in the banquet hall were, I don't know, they were just pieces of plastic put together with toothpicks. I don't know what they were, but everybody was sitting on the edge, and they didn't want to fall. They were just like this. Like, no one was having a good, sorry, again. Showing my butt to these people on the right, so that, like, no one wanted to sit there, and I'm like, I'm going to give it to God, right? I'm just going to lay back in that fella, like, yeah, if it holds me, y'all, we're good. About that time, the chair says, no, we're not. And that's when we learned I do not bounce. You would think, but when the mass hits, it's like, nope, we're fine. We're where we wanted to be. So the guy from 2 tables over comes over and he says, are you okay? If you see someone fall and hurt themselves, don't ever ask that question. If you see they hurt themselves, they're obviously not okay. It just enrages them further. They're already embarrassed that they fell in front of 300 people and they're supposed to go on stage in just a minute. And so you ask, are you okay? I'm like, no, man, I'm pretty far from okay. And so now all of a sudden you're angry at these people. And unfortunately, if you're from Iran, your other voice might come out. I am not okay. Like, oh! Homeland Security, here comes, then again. So I pop up because I wear a new watch. This watch has the new OS that if you're down too long, they'll call the ambulance service on you. Have you noticed that? Have you seen that? Where if you're on a roller coaster, they'll have all these EMTs sitting there at the end of the roller coaster like, who's dead, y'all? Because your stats are going through the roof. Here, if I fall down, I don't want that extra attention. It's already bad enough. So I pop up fairly quickly. At our table was a nurse, and she didn't even try to help me. I'm like, aren't you a nurse? She goes, yeah, but you were too fast. Too fast? Where do you nurse? She goes, I'm a hospice nurse. So I got diagnosed with sleep apnea by a family doctor. His name is Dr. Larry Chin. He's a family friend. And I had to go through the whole sleep apnea test, which is stupid. I mean, look at me, duh. Okay, next level, let's go on. That's another thing. At work, I've got to prove that I'm fat. Like, I need a bigger chair. Well, wait, you got to go get a doctor's note. Really? Would you like me to sit in your chair? No! Then can you sign for me to have one, please? I mean, how hard? Can we just do this telemedicine? If you take up the entire camera, like, okay, done. Should be a very easy visit. We shouldn't have to spend $300 to figure out that I'm fat and then we'll break everything that you don't tie down properly. This chair's like, please don't sit on me. Like, you look sturdy, fella. I'm not. Leave me alone. Put your foot on me, that's fine, but don't sit there. So I have to prove that I have a disability. Actually, I do. I've got a busted back. I've got a L5S1. L5S1 looks like the Millennium Falcon because it ruptured years ago, calcified, and now it looks like it's got that turret. It sits right on the sciatic nerve, so that's why I'm doing this, to get off the pressure. But it's a very painful thing, and somehow I've got to prove it. Went to my back doctor. He's like, well, I don't really feel like we need to write that doctor's note unless you come in the office. I'm like, you really suck. You know? He's the one that told me he won't do the surgery till I lose 200 pounds. I don't know how much you weigh. How much do you weigh? 190. I got to lose you. And all your clothes. I got to leave you behind. And this is like, we can't do surgery on you because you're going to die and mess up my stats. At least you're truthful. Y'all know what a CPAP is? It's for people with sleep apnea, for little people that don't understand this. It's where fat people, we go to sleep and we die. That's pretty much what happens. The fat cells in our neck are like, we have lived a long, good life. Let this thing go. Well, how will we do this? Let's crush his airway while he's not looking. When should we do it? During a baseball game or NASCAR? He tends to doze off during that. So if you hear, that is not a snore. That is the fat cells just charging their way through to the airway, just stop him breathing down. So yeah. So I wear this octopus that sits on my face like this. It's quite amazing. And my wife, her voice changes seasonally here in Tennessee. Like sometimes it's real nice and pretty, and sometimes it's not. It's like she takes on the persona of my father. You know, like, hey, how you doing? I'm pretty good, how are you? I mean, that's bad enough. I know I'm going to sleep next to my sister, but I don't want to be waking up surprised by my brother. You know, it's just not, that's kind of odd. So my son, he's a little bitty kid, and he'd have nightmares. And he'd come down and he'd talk to him. He'd say, well, I had a dream. You know, I'm over there with my snorkel, trying not to pay attention. And she turns to him and said, tell Mama all about it. Let Mama give you a special dream. Just think about me and you going out to the woods, picking them flowers like Mama likes. He screamed. He starts running that 3-mile trek around the bed, you know, comes to Daddy for support, and I'm like, I am your father. And a big old trail of me heading back up.